What time is it? It's story time. What time is it? It's story time. Relax a bit and ease your mind. With books in hand, we'll take a flight and dive into a world so bright. Gather around, it's story time. Stories await, you will find. Turn the pages and let's begin. Adventure's calling, so let's jump in.
And remember, if you haven't already done so, hit that like and subscribe button for more stories. Today, we're going to read We Don't Eat Our Neighbors by Daniel J. Mahoney. Libby and Herbert lived with their parents in a sloppy swamp. It was wet and green and slimy. Libby didn't mind it at all. She loved mud and squishy stuff. Herbert, on the other hand, was as neat and tidy as they come. I don't think I can live one more day in this ick, Herbert said. Looks like you're in luck, Mom said. I landed my dream job, so we are moving into a neighborhood. That's awesome, Herbert said. What's a neighborhood? Libby rolled her eyes. It's where they have big green lawns and indoor plumbing and pizza, she said, and people live there. Yum! Herbert licked his lips. People. Just then, she remembered. People were Herbert's favorite snack. He was the only one in the family who enjoyed them. Libby found out last summer that she was allergic to people after nibbling on Herbert's Boy Scout leftovers, and Mom and Dad were vegetarians. But you can't eat them, Libby said. Why not? Herbert asked. They're so delicious with ketchup. Because we don't eat our neighbors, Libby said, especially if you want to join the soccer team. I guess, Herbert said. The family packed up their things and went to the neighborhood where their new home was located. Doesn't this look great? Dad said. It's got a big green lawn and pizza. Just what you wanted, Libby. If you say so, Libby crossed her arms. But I sure miss the slime from back home. And it's neat and clean. Just what you wanted, Herbert, Mom said. It is, Herbert replied. Our house even has a hot tub. I think I'm really going to like it here. Libby and Herbert were adapting nicely to their new life. They started wearing clothes and attending the local school. They even kind of liked the cafeteria food. Although it was tough for Herbert to not have his favorite snack, he managed at first. But at soccer tryouts, Herbert couldn't behave. Herbert, Libby said, we don't gnaw on the goalie. Oh, Herbert said, you're no fun. After that incident, the kids at school started to avoid Herbert. See what you did? Libby said. No one likes you now. But I like them, Herbert said, especially with butter. Libby gave Herbert the stink eye. Although she wasn't standing in squishy stuff nearly as much as she'd like to be, she was beginning to enjoy the neighborhood. Libby decided to invite her new friends to her house for a sleepover. Everything was going great until Herbert got hungry. Herbert, Libby exclaimed, she is not pizza. With a little pepperoni, Herbert said, anything can be pizza. After everyone ran out the door, Libby made a sign. That's not cool, Herbert said. It's true, Libby said. I can't help it if you want to meet new friends and I want to eat new friends, Herbert said. Mom and Dad moved us to a nice neighborhood, Libby said, so Mom can follow her passion. The least you can do is not snack on anyone. Sheesh. Herbert tried, but maybe not hard enough. He was salting and peppering the kid down the street when the boy's dad came out. You must be Louis Alligator's son, he said. How'd you guess? Herbert said. The dad chuckled. I just hired your mom to be the head pastry chef at my bakery. She has amazing talent. Just then, Herbert realized how important it was for his mom to live here. He would feel awful if she lost her dream job and they all had to move back to the swamp because he was craving a person in pickles sandwich. Hey, Herbert said to Libby later that day, I've met some pretty delicious, I mean, nice people at school, and I probably shouldn't eat them. Besides, they are so messy to munch on. I wouldn't want to soil my new outfit. I promise I'll stick to the cold fish sticks in the cafeteria from now on. Well, that's great, but I think you already blew it, Libby said. No one trusts you anymore. What makes you say that? Herbert asked. Just a hunch, Libby said. Herbert knew he needed to convince people that he wouldn't eat them, but no matter how hard he tried, they all still believed they'd end up on his menu. Libby had friends. His mom was a successful pastry chef. His dad had even picked up a new hobby, but Herbert just wasn't fitting in. Just then, a soccer ball rolled up. The town soccer team was having a scrimmage, and the ball went out of bounds. One of the players nervously approached, and Herbert passed him the ball. Whoa, the player said. You're pretty fierce with that tail, dude. Thanks, Herbert replied. Hey, you're that alligator in gym class, the player said. We're actually short a guy. As long as you don't eat anyone. Want to fill in? You've got a deal, Herbert said. Just ease up on kicking dirt around. These are my favorite pants. As Herbert walked onto the field, everyone looked and smelled scrumptious. He smacked his lips. Don't even think about it, Libby said. If you take even one single chomp out here, Mom's job as a pastry chef is over. You want to see her happy doing what she loves, don't you? I sure do, Herbert said. She makes the best cookies. Then get kicking, Libby said. Herbert was a natural. Everyone was in awe as he scored goal after goal. They also noticed that he wasn't trying to eat any of his fellow players. Whew, Herbert said. It was tough to not nibble on any of that fast food out there. But you behaved, Libby said. Nice job. They'll probably even give you a spot on the team now. I hope so, Herbert said, because I just went out on a limb by not chewing on any limbs. From that day forward, Herbert never ate another person. His mom made him the next best thing.
The end.